Welcome back to the Geezerhood. It's Geezer Talk. If you're new to the show, I've got great news for you. This is our second episode, so you only have one to catch up on. If you want to see more of this fabulous multi-generational crew take on almost all topics of the world through our lens, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you like what you see today, give our video a like, and we invite you to leave a comment. If you don't like what you see, then get off our lawn. Just like last time, I'm flanked by our two resident hosts. One is representing our boomer crew out of the super Geezerhood suburbs of Los Angeles. It's ripe old Rich.
Hey, that's me.
And we've also got representing D-Generation X out of the Geezer suburbs of Denver, Colorado. It's
What's
the bald
up?
and the
What's
beautiful. All right, gentlemen, we're back at it. Good to have you both. So we say we kick it off same as last time. How were your weekends? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. My
All right.
weekend. Saturday mornings, canasta. That's
There's some
certainly
Geezer talk.
a game for geezers, right? We don't play for money, we play for fun. I'm the young one of the group, so makes me feel good, you know?
You're the young one of the group.
That's right. Super geezer canasta.
Okay.
And then, of course, I worked out,
So those
trying to let
arms.
my shoulders heal up a little bit. Yeah, they're still there, still benching a lot of weight, but feeling that age, doesn't get easier as you get older, but still competing here and there and bringing home the hardware.
Are you doing it with all of your original joints?
The upper body, yeah, all original joints. Lower's got a couple hips that you might say are replacement, but all the years of squats and heavy deadlifts, but upper body's still intact. But the joints hurt, no doubt. And wild parties at Ripe Old Riches since the wife's in Croatia. So it's been a wild time at the residence. So no, all in all, other than Canasta and Jim, quiet because the wife is on a European excursion for 12 days.
So to confirm, you are not having wild parties and there's not a pileup of strollers and wheelchairs outside your front door?
That would be affirmative.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering what a ripe old rich wild party consisted of.
Well, there's pretzels and chips and a lot of energy drinks so that people don't fall asleep at 5 o'clock.
And black and white TV programming?
That's right. We have it on the Rifleman channel. If you have those Samsung TVs, they have Samsung TV Plus, 1488, the Rifleman, on 24 hours a day.
Oh, channel 1069 is one of my favorite in my geezer spirit. That's the Bob Ross channel.
Bob Ross.
And on the lighter side of things, I believe it's 1327 Portlandia channel.
They've got a lot of good ones, and I actually like watching. And I know you guys will laugh. JB's probably heard of this show. DJ Slat's probably never heard of it. It's called Degrassi, and it's on channel 1067. It's a Canadian show. It's been on. It started like in the late 80s, and it ended in like 2015. But it's high school, and it's all these generations of kids going through high school in Canada. It's an institution in our neighbors to the north.
Is that like 90210?
Well, they're in school though, kind of, I guess. Better though. They dealt with a lot of real life topics. It's a pretty good show.
Hey man, Brenda Walsh had her own things to deal with.
But I watch Degrassi. It's young people, so it keeps me young.
Well, and as a friendly reminder too, even though I know Drake was in that show, he had no talent then, and he still has no talent now. DJ Slats, where was it at for your weekend?
My weekend was just resting. Just a nice restful. We had a snowstorm here the other week. We are in Denver, and it is March, so we do get snow. And I had a tree go down. So
Wow.
Yeah, had to do some chainsawing, some manly work,
So not too
Manual
geezer to
So,
labor.
chop up a tree. I like it.
get a chainsaw out. Yep,
Very
had a
nice.
couple neighbors and had a couple of cold ones afterwards.
What about you there, juvenile JB?
Well,
Juvenile
on the
JP.
topic of yard work with Flat's tree going down, a lot of my weekend was actually some yard work. Yeah, cutting the grass and you had to prune the rose bushes. It's kind of funny thinking about the yard work. You go from a kid, real little kids, like, ooh, this is kind of fun. I get to help outside and see all the pretty flowers. And then you get older and parents want you to, hey, well, you're like 12 now. Why don't you push the lawnmower around? So it's like, oh, this kind of sucks. And then you get older and, we're fortunate enough to have a house now. And now I've kind of found mowing the lawn a little bit therapeutic because it's outside. It's quiet for the most part. I can listen to some music and I can walk around barefoot and get my earthing in. So, speaking of potentially newer concepts, do both of you happen to know what earthing is?
Earth Day?
Earthing
Earthing. Oh, earthing.
or
Is
grounding?
that where
No.
you like sit on the ground and meditate out on the
Not,
lawn?
I mean, it could be, but basically, the idea is you walk around like on grass or something outside barefoot, and it supposedly helps reduce inflammation, alleviate stress, and keep your body from some sort of electromagnetic perspective, keeping
Hmm.
you better in touch and in balance. That's the
Sounds
theory
like this.
behind it, and I find it kind of comforting. I don't know if it's serving much medical
I,
value,
I
but I suppose feeling less stressful is a good thing.
I was always told don't mow the lawn barefoot. I don't know.
Because
Is
of
that an old
rocks and
wives?
glass.
Is that an old wives' tale?
I don't know.
I
Doesn't
never,
your
I
lawnmower
never,
have a sweeper and the plug? I mulch my lawn, so I have the plug, so it blocks things.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. I don't know.
I
I
wouldn't,
don't
You
I
know.
wouldn't
you
mow
do
a lawn
you.
there.
You do you.
Yeah, works for me. Although the only bad thing that happened from doing that is across the street in like a house down, we have a real old person. I think she is in her 90s. We probably should invite her on the show. She'd be a very lively and offending guest. But she's not very nice. To her credit, she's still driving once in a while, and she's still with her walkers pushing her trash cans down to the street and pulling them back up. So one day I was mowing the lawn. She was going through that exercise, and she literally shouts across the street, "Get off the grass, you moron!" So it's like, it's my grass.
She was yelling that to you?
Yeah. Then somebody else was walking by, and she was randomly yelling at that person too.
Maybe she's got some dementia going on.
I don't know, or maybe she's not very nice. I mean, it's like I was kind of feeling bad for her struggling. Like I wanted to help her pull these trash cans up, and then she's calling me moron. It's like you can go struggle yourself with pulling the trash cans up. Got to be nice to people.
Brings up a story I'll share quickly. When I was a kid, we had a house and we used to play football in the backyard. And I was a real little kid. And that was when I lived in, it was called Buckingham, section of Willingboro, New Jersey. So I went to elementary school there till fourth grade, fifth grade. And we kicked the football, and sometimes it would go over the fence into this lady's house, into her backyard. She was mean old lady, and we couldn't. She'd throw them back, and she'd be angry and everything. And yeah, I think one time my mother actually went over to her and said something to her. It's like, "Hey, these are kids. They're playing." Next thing you knew, we had an apple pie from her.
Wow.
So yeah, so she actually lightened up. But it just took somebody saying, "Hey, they're just kids playing. They don't mean any harm." And she then became a decent neighbor. So sometimes you just got to get to know somebody.
Hey, Rich,
Very
on the
true.
basis of you being in school in New Jersey back in the days, did you have to walk to school both ways uphill in the snow?
We walked to school. It would snow occasionally, but they didn't close school very often, as I recall.
I was just curious if it was uphill both ways, though.
No, it was not uphill. I'm sure there's a reference there that I don't understand.
Curveball,
All right.
swing and miss.
Swing and a miss.
I had to walk 20
all right. Well, speaking
miles
of swings
each
and
way to
misses,
way.
speaking of swings and misses, how about our latest geezer find? This comes to us courtesy of DJ Slats. So you see on screen, and you had a chance to look at before the show, we've got basically the ultimate bed for either the physically limited or the completely lazy.
Lazy people.
So
Thing's
you're
awesome.
voting lazy. What are you voting, Slats?
I'm talking genius. I mean, dude, you don't have to get out of bed. It gets you out of bed for you. I love it.
It's pretty remarkable, and honestly, I do have a couple of friends older that probably could really utilize the thing. I mean, it just lifts you up, twists you, gets you right off to the edge of the bed. The only missing thing is there needs to be an automatic bedpan that comes out so you could just pee from bed.
That categorizes as lazy. Just saying.
Yeah.
That would
Well,
be
if you're physically, limited, it could be a good tool.
Well, it's true. I will
Go for
tell you
it,
this: that my wife and I, we do have is it a Tempur-Pedic or whatever it is, and it does all this stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, the thing that sold us on it when we were in the showroom is they put us in zero gravity. Zero gravity means your feet are elevated, your head slightly elevated, and you're cradled like a baby would be cradled, where your butt is lower. I'm not lying.
So is it comfortable?
Dude, I sleep like a rock. It is awesome. And then there are times, once in a while, when we're watching bed and TV, where we will, in fact, elevate the back end up and sit up like old people and go, man, we ain't this old, but this is kind of awesome.
So here's the real question, Slad. We know yours doesn't have a retractable bedpan, thank goodness. But can your bed swivel to get your ass out of bed like that other one?
My ass has to get out of bed on its own.
Yep.
The swivel part's pretty cool, I have to say.
The swivel part is that's a whole other level of coolness for sure.
Of course, the thing probably costs, $10,000 or something.
Well, I mean, if people need that to physically get out of bed to actually function and be healthier by actually functioning, moving around, maybe one can make a case Medicare should pay for it.
Medicare wouldn't pay for something like that, I can tell you. For those of us that are on Medicare, Medicare is good, but, they're not going to pay for something that's probably considered over and above what somebody really needs. Just saying.
All right. Good to know. All right. How about some geezer news? Article that came out about a week ago. A 32-year-old has been living in a retirement community in Florida for 3 years. And typically these retirement communities are 55 plus. Sometimes people visit for a little while, but this person's actually been living there 3 years. So from a financial standpoint, can certainly understand why it might make sense for somebody to do that. But curious on the thoughts from each of you about that, and perhaps a bigger question: would you ever want to live in a true geezerhood? Because right now, both of you are fortunately good health, living on your own in actual neighborhoods. What do you say? Slat, you get to go first.
I don't know why you want to do that. It's no. I'll just say no. I will say I had a buddy of mine who his parents were in a mobile home park, older 55 plus or whatever, 60 plus, whatever it was. And sometimes when he would come visit, he would stay with them. And then if or they were out of town, he would stay there for a couple of nights. And no, it's just I'm not there yet. Let's just say that. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not there yet. I'm not ready. Yeah.
Well, let's fast forward and say you're ripe old Rich's age. Would you want to live in a true retirement community where you're surrounded by only your generation?
Ripe old Rich still's got it going on, so he's not there yet either. So there's some love for you, ripe old Rich.
Inspiration.
Appreciate that.
All right. Well, would you ever do it?
Would I?
Yeah.
Well, here's kind of my feeling on it. I have an older brother who thankfully is also in very, very good health. But he lives in a 55 and over in Florida. And the place is incredible. It's like living in a resort. They've got a huge clubhouse with movie theater and game rooms and a gym that's actually, for a resort community, not a bad gym. Um, they've got pickleball courts. He's, chairman of the pickleball league. They play cards. They go on trips with, neighbors and stuff. So they've got a very active lifestyle. So there are some positives to it. Would I ever do it? Um, I haven't felt that way, but who knows? I think there's a lot of positives to it, to be honest with you.
So JB, what do you think? What would you do?
Well, it's really long off for me. Right now, the thought of living with a bunch of geezers is repulsive.
But someday you'll be a geezer.
This is true. Someday I will be a geezer.
Let's hope.
Yeah, exactly. So right now, I couldn't imagine doing it, but to your point, Ripe Old Rich, you never know. All right, moving on. So last podcast, we had a homework assignment, too cool for old school homework. So the idea was right now, Geezer Talk is solely brought to you by us three hacks, two of whom have other day jobs, one of whom who spends his day golfing, playing gymnastics, lifting weights, and watching black and white TV reruns.
Living the good life.
We do this mainly for fun, but we wouldn't mind making a few bucks either. So with that said, our assignment from last time was a list of 10 on-point geezer sponsors we'd be interested in having sponsor the broadcast. Idea of this to be fun, but also, hey, if any of you companies are listening. So that said, Slats, let's hear your list first.
I'm gonna wing this one. I'm gonna start off with Depends, of course, because that's the most obvious one. Maybe Cadillac, maybe prune juice. I've heard prune juice is something that as you get older you need. I know my father-in-law. I don't know.
Sunsweet.
Sunsweet.
Okay.
My grandmother used to come with little cans when she would visit us.
What about Metamucil? My father-in-law always asks for Meta. So is that something?
Metamucil, yeah.
Okay.
Fiber.
Okay. What about like just normal cable TV? Because I know the younger generation streams everything now. Just your local cable television network. So this is a few things that I had written down. Nothing. It's not a list of 10 or anything, but keep it short and sweet. A couple ideas.
So you didn't make it to 10.
I didn't make it to 10. I was busy. I have a job.
Shame. All right, Ripe Old Rich. Let's hear your list.
All
Can you beat the 5 or 7 Platten had?
I did my homework. So I have to agree, Depends is kind of at the top of the list. Then I've got AARP, which really is a misnomer, right? Because AARP, which is the American Association of Retired People, you don't have to be retired to be an AARP. You only have to be 50. And I still remember when I got that damn first notice, before I was 50 in the mail, time to join AARP. You got one too. JB, not yet. Third on my list was Life Alert. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. Everybody knows that one.
Yep, I'm moving to cross that off my list now, along with AARP, because it's been called out.
Fourth, I have the Franklin Mint. So the Franklin Mint produces all these little tchotchke things, plates and statues. along with that, number 5 is the Bradford Exchange. They do the same thing.
One and the same.
Commemorative plates, like you could have a Mickey Mouse plate, a Finding Nemo plate, plate of JFK or whatever.
Are these the
JFK.
companies give you the items for free, but they'll charge you like $50 for shipping?
No, you have to pay for these. You have to pay
Okay.
for them.
And they'll
Like
ship you a new one every month for
easy
the rest of your
payments
life.
of $29.99. Yeah. Next one I have is a company called Safe Step. So they modify your bathtubs so that you can walk right in and you don't have to go over that high lip to get in the bathtub or a shower. Acorn stair lifts. So those are the ones where, it goes up the stairs. So you don't have to walk them.
My old man had one of those.
Really? Did it work?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it worked. I'll tell you, after he passed away, we couldn't give it away.
Wow. Next one's the Hurricane. So the Hurricane is some kind of cane that you can walk with. It's a cane, but it folds up, I think, and it has like suction on the bottom, like a plunger, so you're not going to fall over. Next one's the Hover Round. It's a little scooter that people go
Jazzies.
Yes, like a Jazzy.
Wow.
Next, I have Special K. Special K is cereal, and also Raisin Bran. So both of those are good.
What about cornflakes?
Nah, cornflakes are cornflakes. The Special K, I think, are made out of corn. And then Guardian Life Insurance. Those are, I think that's the name of the life insurance company. It's like, pay, I don't know, $29 a month, and they'll give you $10,000 towards burial or something. So if you live any length of time, you probably spent more than the $10,000.
I think so too, yeah.
And then the last one is Polygrip.
Oh, yeah.
Polygrip is the denture glue. So
Sure.
pretty good list, right?
Yep.
That'll work.
All right, my list. So top of my list was Life Alert. You got that one already. Let's see, Foster Grant, the reading glasses.
Oh, aren't they sunglasses?
Nope, they're reading glasses for old people.
Reading glasses. All right.
Let's see, Buick. And
that's a good one.
Earlier mentioned in this podcast, the state of Florida, since so many old people like going there.
Florida.
And also mentioned before about assisted living, I've got Sunrise Assisted Living.
That's excellent. Excellent.
And something we know Ripe Old Rich needs instead of bothering his fellow podcast co-hosts, the Geek Squad. We also have Polydent for people who have dentures, similar to what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And then my last two, Callaway Golf, since I got to pick a golf company and lots of retired folks like playing golf. And I also know lots of old people, including my old man and my grandpa. They love going to Dollar Tree.
Well, I don't know that you got to be a geezer to go to Dollar Tree.
No, but I know a lot of old people like going there, and there are field trips for people in assisted living. So Dollar Tree, if you're watching.
If you're on a fixed income.
Yeah, if you're in here with Dollar Tree watching our show, we would love for you to be our sponsor, and I'd love for you to also give us a discount and actually charge us $1, not that inflated crap of $1.25.
That's right. I was going to say it's really $1.25 tree. I have to say, JB, I'm impressed, and I am certifying you as a geezer in training, a GIT.
I don't think I like that.
Nice.
All right, so we're at about the end, so we've got one more segment for our show. We did it last time, and it went over quite well, I think. So we're going to do it one more time before we break. Geezer memes. So everyone, which means Ripe Old Rich and DJ Slats, all two of you, feel free to check your phones, and you have a pen and paper ready. And we'll start the clock. And let's see, can you name all of those villains from 90s TV shows?
Wow.
How about some confidence, Slats?
Do I have to write this down?
No, we can just do it. It's going to take too long to write.
Okay.
All right. So starting off first with the person in the black jacket on the left. Who is that?
I don't know his name.
Recognize him, but don't know.
You know the show.
I just recognize the
Is it
face.
Doug?
I don't think I know the show.
Is it from
It is
Doug the
Doug.
cartoon? Yes.
That is from Doug. That is Roger.
Okay.
All right. Kid in the blue
Oh.
t-shirt, number 0 in the hole in his jeans.
Don't
Not a
know
clue.
him.
That is the brother from Bobby's World.
Oh, okay.
Bonus question for each of you. Who is the voice in Bobby's World?
Howie Mandel.
That is correct. Very good, Slats. All right. Who's to the left of Bobby's brother? Everyone should get that.
Well, that's Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
That's right. And who is to the left of Bart Simpson?
It looks like Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah, in the fence, Woody Woodpecker.
Is it Woody Woodpecker?
It is Woody Woodpecker. Who's peering over the cement wall?
I know who that is.
Dennis the Menace.
Correct. Dennis the Menace. Good job there, DJ Slats.
All right. And who is to the left of Woody Woodpecker?
Is it Beavis or is it Butthead?
You got to pick one.
I'll say it's Beavis.
Nope, it's Butthead.
It's Butthead. The other one's Beavis then.
All right. And last but not least,
I know he's from The Simpsons, but I don't know his name.
He always said, but I can't think of his name.
He's on The Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
he's from The Simpsons, but come on. Neither of you know his name?
Ralph.
I don't know
Not
his name.
Ralphie.
Nelson Muntz.
Nelson. Thank you. But he always goes,
That is correct. All right. Well, that's about it for time today, gentlemen. I've had fun like always. And for those of you watching, if you've liked our show, please remember to check that like button and subscribe to our channel. And we'll have another podcast for you sometime soon.